Coming in live from Shillong studio, we bring to you today's news bulletin. Before going to the details, first the headlines. Security tightened across Shillong after KSU rally violence, 31 vehicles damaged, 16 people assaulted, arrested leaders sent to judicial custody. Three KSU leaders sent to 14-day judicial custody over Shillong violence. Police continue probe into vandalism and attacks. Transport tensions escalate as AKMTTA stops Assam-registered vehicles at Umyam after Meghalaya vehicles are blocked at Jorabad. The 31st South Zone Council meeting concludes in Mahabalipuram with focus on cooperative federalism and centre-state coordination. India's Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand enter BWF World Championships quarterfinals with straight game win over Japanese pair. The news in detail. First, the local news. The East Khasi Hills District Administration has stepped up security across Shillong following violence during the KSU Black Flag bike rally. Deputy Commissioner Abhilash Bharanwal said additional companies of the CAPF and RAF have been requisitioned to maintain law and order. The administration said 31 vehicles were damaged and 16 people were assaulted during the rally. The DC acknowledged that there may have been lapses on the part of the administration, while stating that KSU had assured authorities that the rally would not lead to any law and order issues. Meanwhile, the arrested leaders have been sent to judicial custody. The DC has appealed to citizens to cooperate with authorities and maintain peace and tranquility in Shillong.
So 31 government and private vehicles have been damaged. 16 confirmed reports of assault of individuals have taken place. 2 statues of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Swami Vivekanand have been vandalized, and simultaneously 2 vehicles, one is a government vehicle and one is a private vehicle bearing registration from outside, they have been torched and arsoned. So we understand, so that's why 5 additional companies of CAPF, including 1 company of RAF, has been called and deployed. We are trying to make sure, along with district police, we are trying to make sure that no further incidents happen, and any miscreant or anyone who tries to take law into their own hands will be dealt strictly. We want to appeal to all the people of Shillong and East Khasi Hills that they should cooperate with the district administration, police administration. We assure them that we are committed to their safety and security, and if there is anything, they must report to police so that timely action can be taken. But simultaneously, we also want to encourage them to not indulge in rumor mongering, and simultaneously basically cooperate with the law enforcement agencies.
3 Khasi Students' Union leaders arrested in connection with Wednesday's violence in Shillong were produced before a court on Thursday and remanded to 14 days judicial custody. Speaking to media, East Khasi Hills SP Vivek Aim said cases have been registered under multiple provisions of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, the Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act, and other relevant laws. Aim said the violence resulted in extensive damage to vehicles and property, besides injuries to several people, including police personnel. He said the KSU rally had been permitted subject to certain conditions, but violence was reported at several locations where police deployment was either inadequate or absent. Police later attempted to apprehend individuals allegedly involved in vandalism but faced resistance from a crowd. Police said petrol bombs were allegedly thrown at personnel, following which tear gas was used to disperse the gathering. Meanwhile, investigations are continuing to identify and apprehend others allegedly involved in the violence.
So the three leaders were released this morning, and 14 days judicial custody has been granted. Various sections have been put in, and section 223, 189 clause 4, 191 clause 3, 109, 125 clause B, 117 clause 4, 118 clause 2, 324 clause 3, 5 and 6, 326 clause G of the BNS Redbit, section 3 clause 2 of the PDPP Act, and 6A MLPO. So these are the sections which the case has been registered with. That is not a fact. In fact, police went there to arrest some of the members out there because who were involved in this whole vandalization of vehicles and all that. But when the police went there, then they were received with stiff resistance and all that. Petrol bombs were thrown at the police, for which they had to. They were forced to use tear gas just to disperse them. And after the crowd was dispersed from there, residents, because of the noise, the residents came out and they requested the police, for which the police agreed to not further actually aggravate the situation and left the place.
Tourist drivers from Assam and members of the public have blocked Meghalaya registered vehicles at Jorabad, preventing them from entering Assam. Only vehicles carrying patients have reportedly been allowed to proceed towards Guwahati. The blockade follows yesterday's violence during a KSU bike rally in Shillong, when vehicles from Assam were allegedly targeted with stone pelting, causing damage and injuring several people, including children. In retaliation, drivers from Assam along with members of the Bir Lachit Sena blocked Meghalaya-bound vehicles while allowing Assam-registered vehicles to pass. The protesters alleged that Meghalaya police failed to take adequate action following the stone pelting incident. They questioned why ordinary residents of Assam should be affected by the KSU's agitation and demanded compensation from the Meghalaya government for the damaged vehicles.
कल जिस तरह से असम के ड्राइवर को उसने टॉर्चर किया है, ये कभी हम नहीं सहेंगे। बहुत निंदनीय टॉर्चर किया है। ये काम हुआ है ऐसा नहीं है। इससे पहले भी मेघालय में असम की ड्राइवर को बहुत हानि पहुंचता है, लेकिन हम इसको तीव्र निंदा करते हैं। पहली बात है कि मेघालय गवर्नमेंट और असम गवर्नमेंट मिलकर एक परमानेंट सोल्यूशन निकलना चाहिए, लेकिन अभी तक कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं है। बार बार वो मेघालय वाले आदमी हमारे असम ड्राइवर के ऊपर हाथ उठाते, गाड़ी टूटे फूटे, लेकिन हम कुछ नहीं कर पाते। ये हमारा गणतांत्रिक एक प्रतिवाद है। हम स्पष्ट शब्दों से बोल दिया हूँ कि ये घटना ही मतलब लास्ट हो और ऐसा घटना ना हो, इसके लिए कन्या संघ और हिमंत विश्व शर्मा मिल के एक स्थायी मतलब परमानेंट सोल्यूशन उसको आगे बढ़ाएं।
The All Khasi Meghalaya Tourist and Taxi Association, or AKMTTA, today stopped Assam-registered vehicles travelling towards Shillong at Umyam. The move came after tourist drivers from Assam and members of the public reportedly blocked Meghalaya-registered vehicles at Jorabad, restricting their entry into Assam. Speaking to the media, AKMTTA President Rokaldinus Dotling said the action was taken in response to the blockade of Meghalaya vehicles at Jorabad. The developments have escalated tensions between transport operators of the two neighbouring states, with vehicles from both sides now facing restrictions amid the ongoing situation.
News menen don ka way voice message ka pakila pariam pan pai kali ml na dalam taksi kuan siti te kuntu hi kala aja lapai ya bat kali gidongi menta ka dibe number ka kumangala o men dei pakila sedang nang thina po Assam na po border nang ki Tinggi ru ngi man si kum kinong nyak kali kemai nak jelam Meghalaya ni nak pok Shillong baik ni hapannya. Lek kum ju kum baki lek ni yang ini tinggi. Perdok pasnam ni balik kemai siti. Nak pok jerubat ni kelap empai tinggi ru mentah ni yang dengan kodam sat kum baki mentah ni hapan man si baik. Dek dan ni ban numsyak ban tu sepok social. Ya kadi tinggi nampak lah nama lada kiti nang ti kidang ye beteng ngiru ngi beteng balada kit nanti kila sange ngiru ngi sange.
The JNC has questioned claims by the Secretary and Doloi of Ilaka Nongkle that both supporters and opponents were called to the Shri Cement public hearing. The council asked who had the authority to invite participants and raised concerns over how the hearing was conducted. The JNC also questioned the arrest of top KSU leaders, alleging possible external influence and claiming that those responsible for the rally violence may not have been KSU members.
Ni pendam jur ya ke jing jia po Shillong khamtam ya ke jing syakem ba ke jing syahiatma jong ka office jong ka kasti student union central body maka baar ke bang kuat penpau ni kalong manadu bawan ke ni ke Shri Cement hapo ka jela ke jongi khamtam po east jangke hill district ngile ai ba shibun ki kunrum kenram kilami hapo ka jela ke jongi ka kabanengkong ke ni ke Shri Cement kalawan ra ke jing pai arliang hapo ke ilka nongkhle kalawan ra ke jing per jingmut hapo den ke ilka nongkhle bat ka ilka sutengah.
Two government Bolero vehicles and a motorcycle were set ablaze at the Water Resources Office in Sidon today early morning amid the ongoing KSU agitation. The incident reportedly occurred at the office of the Executive Engineer, Water Resources. A Bolero bearing registration number ML014464 and motorcycle ML1OC7459 were completely gutted, while another Bolero, ML015359, was partially damaged. Police and fire and emergency personnel rushed to the spot and brought the blaze under control. The incident comes amid heightened tensions in the state following the ongoing KSU agitation. Unknown miscreants allegedly hurled a petrol bomb at the office of the Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Officer at Maulangwir in southwest Khasi Hills district. The incident reportedly took place at around 1 a.m. after nearly residents heard the sound of an explosion. Southwest Khasi Hills Superintendent of Police B. Jirwa said the petrol bomb landed on the roof of the government building, but the fire went out on its own and no damage was reported. Police from Maukarwat conducted an initial inquiry and confirmed that one petrol bomb had been thrown at the office. The identity and whereabouts of the miscreants remain unknown. SP said further investigation is underway, while an FIR is awaited in connection with the incident. The Federation of Khasi, Jaintia and Garo People FKJGP today staged a road blockade at Birnihat, preventing Assam-registered vehicles from entering Meghalaya. The protest followed reports of Meghalaya-registered vehicles being stopped and turned back at Jorabad while attempting to enter Assam. FKJGP North Khasi Hills District President Louis Star Lingdo, along with members from Birnihat, Baridwa and other areas, led the blockade. Speaking to the media, Louis Star Lingdo said the organization would continue the blockade until the restrictions at Jorabad are lifted. The latest development has heightened tensions between transport operators and groups from the two neighboring states, with restrictions being imposed on vehicles on both sides of the border.
Assam Police Association kila sang paino ke kali kiba tapo Meghalaya ke nakaliang jumi kaseng nilai up nadu ne khatwai baji le yipik pa le si padan kanong naka pan resolve no ya ka problem ke nimsyam lai ya ka ya kata kapang ba hakim ba nakaliang jom naru ngalapasang ban kontak bat ki khot jong ka NIPF na ko Assam na kaliang jong kiru kuma apan ay kono ka asuran jadi nomor kita kadaw ban kaliang jong kam kasang ngalapasang banwan ban kontak kuma kontak mati na kaliang jong ni rohod institusi yaitu bijak belajar hapus Islam de kambi pendepan ikut yang coba menjadi.
Hundreds of young men and women participated in a recruitment drive organized by the Meghalaya State Skill Development Society or MSSDS in eastern West Khasi Hills today. The drive was held at the Tirot Singh Memorial Hall, Pendeng Umyong, Mairang, to provide employment opportunities and career pathways to youth within Meghalaya and outside the country. MSSDS officials provided career counseling and information on various job opportunities, including automotive technician, sales and retail management, hospitality, business development, nursing, and electrician positions. The recruitment drive witnessed encouraging participation with hundreds of youths registering for the program. The initiative aims to help young people explore suitable employment opportunities and make informed career choices. The Integrated Health Campaign 2026 was held at Latrambai, Datsimpen in East Jaintia Hills today. The campaign was organized by the Meghalaya AIDS Control Society in collaboration with the Deputy Commissioner and District Health Officer. The initiative aimed to promote health awareness and provide essential health-related services to the local community. Health officials encouraged residents to make use of the services and adopt healthy practices. The campaign is part of the efforts to strengthen community-based healthcare and health awareness in the district. And in regional news, Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha inaugurated the Bharat Mata Canteen cum Night Shelter near GBP Hospital in Agartala. Built at a cost of Rs 4.99 crore, the facility will provide meals at just Rs 10 and night accommodation at Rs 20 for patient attendance. Speaking at the inauguration, Chief Minister Manik Saha said the initiative would help reduce the financial burden and hardships faced by patients' attendants. He also urged local representatives and concerned authorities to ensure proper maintenance, cleanliness and security of the facility. The government said the Bharat Mata Canteen cum Night Shelter is expected to provide much needed support to families accompanying patients and ensure that they have access to basic food and accommodation at affordable rates. Now for the national news. The 31st South Zone Council meeting concluded in Mahabalipuram near Chennai under the chairmanship of Union Home Minister Amit Shah. The meeting was attended by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Joseph Vijay, Karnataka Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar, Kerala Chief Minister Sathisan, Telangana Deputy Chief Minister Malu Bhatti Vikramarka and Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandra Babu Naidu. Discussions focused on strengthening cooperative federalism and improving coordination between the centre and southern states. Participants highlighted the need for greater cooperation in areas including healthcare funding, infrastructure development, environmental protection and regional security. The meeting provided a platform for states and the centre to discuss common challenges and work towards coordinated development across the southern region. Japanese Defence Minister Shinjiro Koizumi held talks with his Indian counterpart Rajnath Singh in New Delhi today, as India and Japan sought to further strengthen bilateral defence cooperation. During his maiden visit to India, Koizumi inspected a ceremonial guard of honour and paid tribute at the National War Memorial. The talks focused on enhancing maritime security, defence technology cooperation and strategic coordination between the two countries. The visit comes after India and Japan signed their first defence co-development pact in July, marking a significant step in bilateral defence ties. Both sides also reiterated their commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific and closer cooperation between their armed forces.
इंडियन ओशन और पब्लिक ओशन की सुरक्षा आपस में गहरे रूप से जुड़ी हुई है, इसलिए इंडिया के महासागर विजन यानी म्यूचुअल एंड होलिस्टिक एडवांसमेंट फॉर सिक्योरिटी एंड ग्रोथ फॉर ऑल इन द रीजन और जापान के फ्री एंड ओपन इंडो पैसिफिक इनिशिएटिव्स के बीच क्लोज अलाइनमेंट आज पहले से भी कहीं ज़्यादा जरूरी है। हमारी मैरीटाइम लाइफ लाइन्स बढ़ती हुई वल्नरेबिलिटीज का सामना कर रही हैं। फ्रीडम ऑफ नेविगेशन, ओवरफ्लाइट और अनहिंडर्ड लॉफुल कॉमर्स को सुनिश्चित करना सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक नेसेसिटी नहीं है, बल्कि यह एक स्ट्रेटेजिक इंपरेटिव भी है।
Let's now take a look at the top stories from around the world. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun met Pope Leo at the Vatican today during his official visit. The two leaders exchanged greetings and held talks before exchanging gifts and posing for photographs. The Vatican has not yet released details of the discussions. The meeting comes months after Pope Leo's apostolic visit to Lebanon from 30th November to 2nd December 2025. The talk highlights the Vatican's close ties with Lebanon, a country home to one of the largest Christian communities in the Middle East. And in sports. India's women's doubles pair, Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichan, stormed into the quarterfinals of the BWF World Championships in New Delhi. The Indian duo defeated 7 seeds Rin Iwanaga and Ki Nakanishi of Japan in straight games 21-16, 21-12. Trisa and Gayatri said they understood their opponent's game plan within the opening few points and maintained an attacking approach to secure the victory. Meanwhile, PV Sindhu will face third seed Wang Ziyi of China, while Ayush Shetty takes on Indonesia's Alwi Farhan in the men's singles. In men's doubles, Satwik Sairaj Ranki Reddy and Chirag Shetty will face Malaysia's Junaidi Arif and Roy King Yap.
I think initially it was a pretty neck to neck, but then I think with our coaches and they gave us some tips. So I think we were attacking a lot more in the second half of the first game and the second set. So I think it worked in our favor.
Yeah, I think the rotation and the attacking is one of our strengths. I think while playing also it's really working, and we are very calm. When we are leading also like a little bit calm, because at this level we need to be really calm and just be in that moment. I think every point is matters.
Arunachal Pradesh athlete Tingong Wangpan, a CM Aces athlete, has been selected to represent India at the Asian Para Games 2026 in the men's 400-meter T37 category. Deputy Chief Minister Chawna Main congratulated Wangpan, saying his selection was the result of dedication, hard work and determination. The Sports Authority of India has announced a CAM list comprising 51 men and 20 women athletes. The preparatory camp will be conducted at SAI centres in Bengaluru, Delhi and Sonipat. Wangpan's selection marks a significant achievement for Arunachal Pradesh and Indian para-athletics. Let's now take a look at the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report for Tura. Minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature 31 degrees Celsius were recorded. The relative humidity is 74% and rainfall 4.5 millimeters. Moving on to Shillong, 18 degrees Celsius of minimum temperature, 26 degrees Celsius of maximum temperature, 93% relative humidity and 13.8 millimeters of rainfall were recorded today. Meanwhile, in Jowai, minimum temperature 19 degrees Celsius, maximum temperature 26 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 81% and rainfall 6.7 millimeters. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says moderate rain is likely to occur at many places. Before winding up this news bulletin, here's a short recap. Security tightened across Shillong after KSU rally violence, 31 vehicles damaged, 16 people assaulted, arrested leaders sent to judicial custody. Three KSU leaders sent to 14-day judicial custody over Shillong violence. Police continue probe into vandalism and attacks. Transport tensions escalate as AKMTTA stops Assam registered vehicles at Umyam after Meghalaya vehicles are blocked at Jorabad. "31st South Zone Council meeting concludes in Mahabalipuram with focus on cooperative federalism and centre-state coordination. India's Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichan enter BWF World Championship quarterfinals with straight game win over Japanese pair. And that's all we have for you in today's news bulletin. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening ahead.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeastern News Bulletin. This is Hansraj presenting the headlines first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reaffirms centre's support to Assam's roadmap for rebuilding flood-hit areas. Arunachal Chief Minister apprises